matter. Giving and serving will get you there. We talk about it all the time. Our word for today is disrupt. And, um, where I really wanted to go with this morning as we close out the week is definition that I want to focus on is to cause radical change in an industry or a market by means of innovation. So I'm gonna move in the business arena, but I think we could apply it in our life, in our relationships, in our health. Like if we want to do something great, we got to be disruptive. And what does it mean in business? Here's what it means. When you're creating a product, service, or a strategy that places existing markets leaders and eventually replaces or gains a big part of the market. Like when you disrupt something like Apple did years ago, when you disrupt an industry like Airbnb did years ago, or Uber did a few years back, like they were a disruptor. And so when I think about my own personal journey, I ask myself, Brent, are you being a disruptor in life, in the world around you? Are you just the status quo? Are you just simply another two legs marching down the street of millions and millions of those two-legged people marching down the street? What are you doing to put that stamp, that disruptive behavior in life that people go, you know what, he's different, he's stepping out, like he's making a difference? That's what these companies did, and that's what we all have the ability to do because God gave us that ability. And so this was an inspiration to me on disruption. Mark Saylor said it, disrupt the status quo or become it. Think about that. Do it. Disrupt the status quo, or you're just going to become the status quo. And I share that with you because it's so big. And I go, how do you disrupt the status quo? Again, it's talking about business, but we could talk about anything with this. Number one, begin with asking why. Don't just think better, think differently. Me and Myra talk about it all the time. Organizations all the time will say, well, we just always done it this way. Just the way it's got to be done. We always done it. That's not disruptive. What are you doing? Begin with asking why. Number two, be transparent and vulnerable. Here's what it means by that. Don't we all get fed up across social media and everywhere getting somebody trying to sell us something? That's the status quo. Sell. People don't want to buy what you're trying to, or I'm trying to sell them. You know what they're trying to do? They want me to be vulnerable. They want me to be authentic. They want to see my mess is my message. So funny. I see so many humans, and I've done it myself, try to posture. People don't want you posturing. They want to know why Myra Miles is doing what she's doing. They want to know the vulnerable side, the authentic side. They want to know why Brent Palmer's doing what he's doing. They want to hear all this stuff that they see and hear every day. I call it flashing. They don't want to see the flash. Number three, think of others versus competition. In businesses, think of customers versus competition, meaning we got to build strong relationships with people. If we want to really challenge the status quo and be different, we got to build relationships with people. And a lot of times in building relationships, we got to just build the biggest building, the biggest relationship. We can't tear other people down. We can't tear other businesses down. Let's go run our race. Let's go be different. Let's go be disruptive and just build the biggest building in town. That's what people want. And here's another one. I'm not going to get to all these today, and that's okay, but here's another one. Lead with generosity. Do you realize when you offer a service, you offer help, you offer, hey, take this survey, hey, let me give you this sample, like let generosity is the key to creating something that is disruptive. Number 4, pivot rapidly. Here's the thing. You got to be, I have to be willing to try something and then evaluate it and then pivot and maybe make a change, right? I got to be willing to go, you know what? It might not be good at first. You know, we got a big thing Tuesday night in Florence, Alabama at the depot. And Myra stepped out and she made it, you know, but what if it doesn't work? What if it's okay? We got to try it. Then we got to evaluate it, make changes, pivot, do something different, but step out and challenge the status quo of what's being done. And number 5, be bold and brave. Not everyone's going to agree with the race you're running or I'm running, but we got to be bold. Airbnb was bold. Amazon was bold. They were a book company that changed to what they are today. Like Uber was bold. What is Brent Palmer doing right now in his life? And I challenge you to think about yourself, that I'm being bold and I'm out there running my own race. And I understand not everyone is going to see what I see, but it's my race. God gave me my race to run, and I'm going to run it. Coach, I'll turn it to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brent. First of all, I had it on my notes to tell Ashley Paulson happy birthday today, and somebody beat it to the punch, got us in the messages. So that's fantastic. Happy birthday, Ashley. Disrupt. I love that. I loved it when Brent sent this word. Kind of forces you to think in a different perspective, and I think that's probably what this whole group is all about. You know, to throw into confusion or disorder is one description, to interrupt or impede, to improve a product or service in ways that displaces an established one and surprises the market. You know, another way to look at the word disrupt is that it can also mean these 3 things: rethink, reinvent, reposition. That's 3 powerful R words right there. Disruption and innovation are the norms in every aspect of our lives, and it takes great leadership that makes the difference, and it will make a difference by providing the inspiration to navigate through seemingly chaotic times. We've all been right slap dab in the middle of chaotic and disruptive times. Here are just some traits I want to run through very quickly that great disruptive leaders possess that help to provide vision in times of disruption. This type of a leader has unwavering courage. Unwavering courage. You know, we all want to follow a leader that has self-confidence and courage. I mean, that's just, I think, built in us. That is the type of leader that we want to follow, and we want to be a part of their team, their company, their actual family. So the second one is self-control. If a person cannot control themselves, they're never, ever going to be able to help and lead others. Number 3, a keen sense of justice. Without a sense of fairness and justice, no leader can command and retain the respect of their other teammates. A good disruptive leader can make decisions. You know, think about this. If you've been following someone and they kind of waver, they pitch a decision out there and then they start wavering from it, it just shows that that leader is just not sure of themselves. And guess what? It's hard to follow somebody like that. You know, also another one, you know, do more. A great disruptive leader does more than what they're paid for. You know, they go above and beyond to help their team in any possible way when they really don't even have to. but they do more than what they're paid for. All right. They must also have a pleasing personality. Listen, y'all hear me say this a lot. No old grump butt and crotchety person can ever become a successful person in any times, but especially in a disruptive time. Another trait is that, this type of a leader is a master of details. Disruptive leadership requires a mastery of details. They've got to also be able to assume full responsibility. This type of leader, and really any kind of true leader, has to be willing and accept and assume anything that happens down their line, anything that happens within their team. Because guess what? They probably hired that individual that had that struggle. So that is the biggest reason that a disruptive leader or any leader has to be able to accept responsibility for the mistakes. And also, got to be cooperative. A disruptive leader must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort if they want their team to follow them. Leadership calls for power, and power calls for cooperation. So I hope in all those traits, maybe you grabbed on a couple of them and it will be able to resonate with you really well. But, I think it's kind of like, we all should be disruptive. We all should look for ways to disrupt, use our vision. So anyway, y'all have a great Friday.
Coach, that was amazing. I read your notes this morning and was excited. And it is a strong word. And you know what I really thought about as we were going through this today? And it really tied into Teddy, me, and you. And I get to the end of this today and I go, here's what it means for me. And I hope you think about this too. Teddy talked about Anthony Moreland. I talked about Uber, Airbnb, and Apple. What do all of them have in common? People are talking about them. Mm-hmm. If you really want to know if you're disruptive, you've got people around that are saying things about you in a positive way. Why? Because you're making an impact. You're challenging the status quo. Myra, that's what I got out of it today. Is I got to look at myself and ask myself the question: is what am I doing in this world that's making people want to say something about me?
That's right.
So that's my challenge today. So, Coach, thank you so much for partnering with me on this Coach's Corner. Thank all of you for tuning in. Teddy, thank you for sharing your heart. We love you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go rock this weekend. Have a great weekend, blessed weekend. We'll see you back on Monday.
Love y'all. Thanks again. And happy birthday, Ashley.
Thank you, guys. That was great. Have a blessed weekend.
Happy birthday, Ashley.